You live?
Yeah.
All right. Can we hear you?
Yeah.
Give me a mic check. Mic check. Give me a mic check.
Mic check, mic check, mic check.
Thank you. Tell me when they're coming. It's coming.
Well, Lindsay, it didn't take long for them to get to that verdict. They just told the jury that they were able to go ahead and make that conclusion, and the family is extremely distraught. One of the family members, after the verdict was told to the courtroom, pretty much exclaimed in the courtroom and screamed out, why? It was definitely a tense moment in the courtroom. A lot of people are left speechless in the courtroom. A lot of people just kind of in and out, and the family just went back into the complex just a couple of minutes ago. Not sure what they're doing here, but they're definitely shocked that the verdict was not guilty, as we know. So just a lot of different emotions. It's a pretty tense feeling here at the courthouse. So not much a lot of people are saying. It's just a lot of emotions, a lot of tears, a lot of crying. I saw the sister of Michael Dean screaming out, and she also didn't want to speak to anybody on camera because of that verdict. So it's an intense scene, Lindsay. That's pretty much what I can say about this. If there's one word, it would be intense. Yes, that is correct. Pretty much not guilty on both the manslaughter charge as well as the criminally negligent homicide. Both of those completely off the table. He's found not guilty as a whole. So that's why everyone's pretty much in shock, and especially the family that I believe is the attorneys, a couple of people behind me. These are the defense attorneys right here that are coming up, and he's going to talk to us really soon. If you guys want to pan with me, we can get a couple of information on him.
I can hold the mic if you need.
Okay. If I'm in someone's shop, just let me know.
All ready?
All right, it's Robert McCabe, MCC, ABE, and I'm the lead attorney for Carmen DeCruz.
All right. When they read the verdict of not guilty, what were your thoughts?
We've expected this for 3 years. We've been dealing with a prosecutor's office that has refused to analyze evidence, that has hidden evidence from the public, that has been less than honest with the facts of their case, that is out to tell a story and not get to the truth in the case. And we've been fighting for years for Carmen's freedom in this case, and we knew this was going to come. We're shocked it even took 2 hours to get to this point. We've been dealing with just nothing but lies and fiction from the Bell County DA's office for years.
What is the truth?
The truth is that Michael Dean caused his own death in this case. It's a tragic accident. It should have never happened, but the fact is drunk people make bad choices, and touching an officer's gun, causing it to be discharged, is not a crime. It is a choice you make as a poor choice you make as a drunk, violent person.
Michael Dean's family was screaming when they left the courtroom. This is the good old boy system. What do you say to that?
How's it a good old boy system? We have a jury of peers. We had a full jury selection process. We have transparency. We have the best system in the world, and it worked today.
Why do you think the jury decided to come to this conclusion of not guilty?
I think they came to this conclusion because they're the ones that actually see all the facts. They see the video, they see it analyzed, they see all of the evidence objectively with fresh eyes without being swayed by the story that the DA's office wants to tell, which is a fiction.
Do you think it was the video that pushed them that way?
I think it was the video analysis that we had to bring to show that Michael Dean caused his own demise, that it was not Carmen DeCruz's reckless act.
What are the next steps for your client after this?
Well, you know, the family, of course, filed a civil lawsuit, which is normal against the city and against Mr. DeCruz, and I think this is obviously going to help that matter. So we've got that to deal with. And, of course, you know, Mr. DeCruz spent 24 years honorably in the U.S. Army as a military police officer. He spent 9 years as a police officer in Temple, and I think he's looking forward to a quiet life.
So he will not be going back into law enforcement?
Not at all.
Okay. Anything else that you would like to say?
No, we're just thrilled with the jury, and we're happy to see the truth finally come out after 3 years of hiding.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
Was it any help that his previous attacks against black men didn't get before the jury?
He's never been accused of or convicted of any previous attacks by
When he
against
ran
black men.
over a black man and
That didn't
and
happen.
burned him? Oh,
Never-
it didn't happen at
didn't.
all? It was all made up?
That's all made up, yes, sir. You can check his personnel
So all
file.
the stories about it, all the police reports were false? I'm missing video. I'm missing video. I can't get over this. They want you on camera?
Well, according to defense attorney Robert McCade, he believes the shift was when he analyzed the body camera footage worn by DeCruz, excuse me, and that is what shifted the jury to come to this verdict. That's what he believes, and there was a shift when he did analyze that footage, and he analyzed it pretty detailed. So that's what he believes what got to this non-guilty verdict, and that's what he's come to. So that's kind of my answer to that question. Yes, the civil lawsuit is being filed by the Dean family. I didn't hear exactly who they're filing that against, but like you said, he says that DeCruz is no longer going to be in law enforcement and he plans to live a private life, and that's where we are with it. We haven't seen DeCruz come out of the courtroom as of yet. We're just kind of sitting here maybe waiting on him to give a possible statement on the non-guilty verdict. But we haven't seen him come out yet, Lindsay. So that's what we're kind of waiting on right now. But the family is still out here processing what exactly happened, and kind of screams and just a little bit chaotic out here right now. But DeCruz has yet to come out of the courtroom. Well, we haven't seen Lee Merritt come in and out the courtroom for the last few days. So Lee Merritt, the civil rights attorney, was not present today for that verdict. Now, Michael Dean's sister and I believe mother and father and a couple of other family members and siblings were present in the courtroom when that verdict was announced to the courtroom. So that's who was in there. And of course, once they got the results of that verdict, they were completely distraught. Like I mentioned, I mean, screaming and yelling and crying. It was a very, very emotional situation once that verdict was announced to the courtroom. Yeah, the state was shocked. They seemed to be shocked, the state prosecutors. They didn't want to comment on the verdict that was addressed, and they kind of went ahead and peeled out once that verdict was addressed from the courthouse. So they haven't commented on the verdict, and they did seem shocked when the judge announced what that verdict was, which was not guilty. So the prosecutor was definitely shocked about what happened and what results came of this trial. I know the first thing I saw DeCruz do was hug his mother as well as other family members. That's the first thing I saw DeCruz do once the verdict was announced. And the demographic of the jury, it was 14 in total, 12 jurors and then 2 alternatives. One of them was a black man, another was a mixed race woman. I believe it was 4 white women and mixed Hispanic and white men. That's what I remember from the verdict. So we'll be sure to give you guys more updates in the 5 and 6 shows. Like I said, it's a very, very eerie feeling here in the courthouse, but I'll be sure to give you guys more updates on how they came to this conclusion. For now, back to you, Lindsay.
Can you find out if our shot's still hot?
I need to sit down for a second.